Yep, we're here. We're here. Are you here? Boom, we're live. Listen, I don't know why I put in the intro there. That just shows you how Myrtle Madness is moving right now. Yeah. The intro didn't want to play. It was like, you know what, man? It was like, you know what? It's Myrtle Madness. So we're gonna give you a Myrtle Madness.
I thought there was like a. Can you hear me? I thought there was a time skip because I'm like, hold on a second. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm like, there's a minute to go. Next thing I see you, man. I thought I see 1 minute. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I thought the show started or something. I thought that was some delay or something. Can you man hear me in time? Is it all right?
Yeah, man. Can hear you loud and clear, bro.
Man.
Clear.
You man go ahead. I'm gonna. You know what? You guys go ahead.
He moved Neil Ashton in, so it is what it is, isn't it? Neil Ashton's having a mare with his internet. How you doing, brother? How's Danny? How's the kids, bro? You good?
Kids are good. They're not here right now. That's why I can stream. They've been every time I come to do a stream. Every time I come to do a stream, they're just going. They've been going crazy. So yeah, no, I'm happy to be back, man. I think Saeed's on the. That looks like. Remember when Vista came out on the Windows after XP? That's what you used to see all of the time.
That's it. That magic circle, innit? Getting that magic circle. But anyway, big up, people. Welcome to Saeed TV. Saeed's having some technical issues. So me and Danny at the moment. Big up Rachel. Big up everybody on the comment. So I think the thing we've got to start with is welcome Tyrell Malacia to Man United. I think it was only right we welcomed this brother to Man United. And yeah, I'm happy, Danny. I'm genuinely happy. You know, I've been screaming about this kid in the spaces for quite a while now. And I'm happy because he was the first player that we were linked with as soon as Ten Hag put his name on a dotted line. So that's why I like Malacia. Okay, so I had to look him up, check that. I thought he was at Ajax first, and I thought, oh, he's at Feyenoord. Okay. You know what? Obviously, managers watching him, seeing that he's playing against him, see how he is. So I'm like, okay, he's at the right age, right kind of profile for me. I like my defenders, and I like my, fullbacks to be aggressive. I hate passive fullbacks. I hate passive defenders in general. I need everything to be go, get it. So he plays with intensity. I think at times people see that the recoveries that he makes because the balls, because sometimes he's too eager. He's too eager to try to win the ball. He's too eager to try to get in and sometimes press in central areas. But I think that thing comes with the ceiling, isn't it? He's going to grow with experience, with playing time, with good coaching. I think he'll get better. I do think he's technical than most people are sleeping on because I think when I see outside of the boot left foot, like 20-yard passes, and then when I see him switching the play, like to that certain extent, I'm looking at him thinking, And then I look at his past the amount of passes that he puts through and he puts forward, and I'm like, yo. You have to have some level of technique. Of course, being technical to a level is a certain thing, but he has got technical attributes to his game, which I'm excited about. And again, he can only get better with good coaching, with one-to-one coaching. So, but for your first initial reaction, Danny, Simon Stone tweeted it, so I was like, yeah, that's good for me. You know how?
Yeah, no, he's someone that I've heard about. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen much of him. Seen him literally 2-3 times. So I'm glad you brought up the technical part because the athletic part, the fact that he's aggressive, you can see that from the comps and all of that. But obviously, I can't. You know me, I like to assess and play in depth, which means you have to watch 90-minute football matches. Like Nuruddin, you see Wan-Bissaka, yeah? When he first came through, within 3 matches, I knew he couldn't track balls in the air. Right, I don't just mean defending back post. I always say this to people. I saw a ball bounce in front of Wan-Bissaka. He looked up and lost flight of it, Nuruddin. I swear it happened. It was right in front of him. He looked up. He did. So I noticed that within 3 games, but I didn't say anything. I just left it. So you know me, I don't like to attack players. I prefer to defend players. As soon as I started studying Malacia, you brought up the technique. I just feel like his general technique, Nuruddin, just general play, little bit messy. That's the only thing because I saw the way you were waxing lyrical about him, so I was surprised to see that. But you don't sound concerned because he can execute more difficult things. Is that what it is, Nuruddin? I'm just asking questions because you watched him more than me.
No, 100%. You know what I like about him is that he's not passive. he's got the energy and the aggression and the intensity to get up and down this pitch. But he's not afraid to play a ball. You know how people are shy? Like sometimes the ball needs to go forward. He's not. I've seen the kid switch play, bro. Like literally, like halfway line, right? Halfway line on the touch line. Switch it to the right hand side to the right winger on his chest, bro. Like, and then I see him passing the ball outside of the boot, bro. You have to have a level of confidence within your ability. Obviously, it's not going to always come off, but he's executing passes. And then also when he finds himself in central places, I see him try to pass through the lines, like quickly into feet, like punch it into people. So I watched him for 4 games, bro, because that's when he got announced. And there was 4 games left till they made it to the final of the Conference League. By far, best player on the football pitch against Roba, right? And majority of other games he had, for me, for Feyenoord, he's the kind of kid that is having like 7.5 out of performance in games. And that, to me, for that young age, is something that I value. And I think, because you know me, I always think young players can get better. You can refine, you can get you can get all of the mistakes out of their game, and you can like heighten their talent, what they've got already, the raw material. And that's what I see with him. And 100%, if he settles in well, trust me, guys, if he settles in well, health-wise, in terms of like staying away from injuries, I can see this guy. Honestly, I'm not lying to you. Like, I see this guy, this kid, he's got the determination to want to be.
Can I bring up that comment though? See that comment somebody said about Antony. You see, this is where comps are tricky. They brought up that comment and said Antony couldn't get past him. Right? I don't know if you saw that side. So I've gone back and I watched that game because things like comps like that are I think they're fugazi. So when I watched that game, Nuruddin, and this is just being constructive because I don't like it when a player gets signed and we just talk about he's good at this. People have to be aware of the flaws that he has to improve on, so we can see how his game develops. Because you know how people are. They're like, I thought he was supposed to be perfect. We know that's not the case. But I saw Antony bullying him physically, Nuruddin. There were a few long passes that came, and Antony, because they're the same age actually, I think they're the same age. He basically understood where to put his body, and Malacia didn't know how to defend with his body and position himself. And he ended up getting basically bullied physically, actually, by Antony, which is a concern, to be honest with you. And then also what I noticed, in those situations, he then had to go mark somebody, and he relies on his athleticism. Instead of positioning himself in a rhythm, he just would rotate his body 180. It'd be like the centre-back we're going to talk about. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. He's obviously 22 years old. He's got some flaws, needs to improve.
No, he's young talent, man. He's a young talent, man. Listen, apologies on the Wi-Fi. Apologies on the Wi-Fi. You get me? Big up to everybody who's tuning in to the debate show. We haven't got Statman and Adam. Statman's not feeling well, so make sure people to send your wishes to Statman Baines. And obviously Adam has had technical issues as well. But big up to everybody who's tuning in, man. Charlie, man, you were excited about this new signing, our first signing. There we go, man. We got a new Charlie in the building now, man. Big up to new Charlie. New hype. How you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling good, mate. I'm feeling good. I mean, we didn't have a signing for a few weeks, and then we could get 4 signings within a week. We could. So it is looking more promising. Look, everyone knows who follows me. I've been looking at Malacia for a while. I did obviously a bit of analysis on him. I think very, very highly of him. He's got some faults, which obviously Danny's picked up on. I think the aerial ability is a problem. I think the defensive position is a problem. However, this kid has not just got the ability on and off the ball. I think the majority of his game is very, very good. He's also got the right mentality. Apparently, he doesn't really use social media. I like that a lot. I think we have too many. I think nowadays in this influencer world, you know, players are all too bothered about posting this and that on social media. I quite like that sort of old school feeling about it. He doesn't use social media. He looks like he's got a very good mentality. Apparently, a very good trainer. From what I've seen of the kid, he looks very, very good. And look, for the amount of money we're paying for him, I think it's a bit of a bargain. I think this will turn out to be one of the bargains of the season. You're on mute, mate.
Yeah, that's not me clicking. You know what I mean? It's not me. Honestly, it's not me. Danny, hold up, man. Danny's clicking something. I don't know what he's clicking. Big up to the clickers, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not me, man. Well, I'm just looking at some the tweet here, man. Nuruddin. You know what I mean? It's exciting time now. All of a sudden, man, the mental madness is happening now. Man United agreed terms with Tyrell Malacia, 4-year contract, option of 5th. Medical may happen this weekend. Man United tried now to reach an agreement with Arsenal target Lisandro Martinez. He is keen. De Jong and Eriksen pursuits continue, man. All of a sudden, they're starting to do what we wanted from the start, man, and just get an act together and let's get this Myrtle madness on the way, innit, man?
Listen, it was only a matter of time, obviously, but the fact that the price that it was easier to do. We almost saw that this kid was done, done deal was done. Personal terms and all of that was agreed with Leon. Man United did what they had to do, jump in. For me, I was here, we were here 2 weeks ago, weren't we? We were saying, nah, man, I was gutted because, like I said, I watched 4 games in this kid, like 4 games. I watched the quarterfinals, the semi-final games, and then I watched the final. So I watched him, you know what I mean? I watched games in him. I didn't just watch the bloody YouTube things because he was the first player that we were linked with when Erik ten Hag signed on the dotted line. So that's the reason why I went the way I did. But he has got faults, but he's 22 years old. And for 22 years old, you're not going to get a complete footballer. I don't know who you are, but you're never going to get a complete footballer, right? Especially defensively. There's always something to learn. I think the main thing about him is that he relies on his pace and he likes to go to ground. And there were similarities. People are making similarities to Wan-Bissaka, where he likes to go. But what I love about him is the intensity, what you can't coach. You either have it or you don't, Danny. You know this. You certain players have it, and certain players don't.
Can I ask you a specific question then? You know me, I'm Mr. Specific because again, I haven't watched the play. That's why I'm pointing out certain things I've seen in isolation. Is he someone that's just at it for 90 minutes?
Yeah, he's active. He's active. He's active and he's up and down, and he's got that ability to go down the outside. Like many people don't want to go on the outside anymore. People want to come in the inside. Feyenoord actually have been super wasteful. If you look at his stats, he creates so many chances, but people are just like missing. I mean, I don't know if Charlie can get the stats up because if he did
Charlie, I just said in the private chat, can you put that thread up so we can just show the thread and let
Charlie, can you verify something for me, Charlie? I think he's had the most attempted shots in the Eredivisie this season.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good, man.
But when I saw it, I was like, I need to verify this. This don't make no. I know it's true because it says it, but I'm like, that's crazy. How does a left back have the most shots in the entire league?
You know what?
Ever vibes, I think he does give me ever vibes.
I think he's more intense, Honestly, like the first thing, the first thing I noticed about him was I was thinking, wow, this kid is intense. Like, is this like hunger? Like, he's got this like bulldog kind of spirit, like warrior kind of like, I want to get in there and get to that ball. And at times, honestly, the way Feyenoord were playing him, he found himself to be in central, because then in central places. I don't know if Charlie saw that. At times, he's there like central midfield areas. Like, he's so high up. And because obviously relying on a recovery pace, at times he's last man as well, like sweeping up. He's got those, because he's quite quick across the ground. But definitely, he's aerial. He's certain positioning in terms of like, at times he goes too gung-ho, and then, there's gaps behind him. But that's the thing for me, he's aerial and positioning. But in terms of getting better on the ball, I think he just wants it. And I was like, I heard rumors about he doesn't want to be on social media. Mark my words, bro. As soon as you come to Man United, you're going to get out social media.
You've got...
Manchester United have a department that makes sure you get on social media, man. They give you special phones. You start taking selfies in the stadium. You know what I mean? So don't worry about that. He'll be on social media soon. But we'll know how he wants to be. But there are definitely areas of improvement. But the things where you can't buy, for me, he has it. And that's the intensity. I like aggression. I just don't like passive. Look Lindelof. I look at Maguire. I look at Shaw at times. I look at even Wan-Bissaka. They just look passive to me. They look really passive. And Danny, you know what I'm talking about. Where they people are just like, we're going to tackle you, but I'm not. I'm just going to run alongside you. Like, no, this kid ain't that. If you're going to win the ball, sometimes even too eager. At times, you have to be told, you know what, hold your positioning. Don't go too eager. That's what more you're going to tell him than you're going to tell him to, you know what I mean? That don't be passive, because he's too to me, he has that tension. And I want that tension. Of course, I saw it in the sit-up of Feyenoord, who were in the Europa Conference final. They've not been in Europe for a long time. You know what I mean? Only when the conference came around, and they made it to the final. So, of course, it's a system that he was playing in and the way he's been coached. But he's already got like 5 caps for Holland.
Yeah. Listen, Holland as well with Van Gaal. He likes to get the youth involved from early on anyway, man. Charlie, let us know, man. Let us know. For those who don't know who Tyrell Malacia is, this is kind of a summary that Charlie did on Twitter. So big up to Charlie and all the threads he does, even Danny as well. Very, very kind of like in that kind of field as well. So this is new for everyone. Everybody's learning. You know what I mean? There's no shame in learning, people. Everybody has to learn about player profile. You know what I mean? There's just that funny moment where people say, have you watched him? Well, we're here to find out, people. So if you watch it right now, you know what I mean? Someone saying quick title change. Yeah, man, this is what we do, man. We're moving as the times go along, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But if you're watching this video right now, people, and you haven't smashed a like on the video, please smash a like on the video, people. It helps us out massively. And subscribe to everybody on here, man. But Charlie, go ahead.
No, so can you see this? Can you see me moving down? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just started off. Just a quick background. Interestingly, he's only ever played for Feyenoord in his senior career. So he's always been at Feyenoord. We've mentioned 5 caps for the Netherlands. He's won 2 cups as well. So yeah, then I did the strength. So pace, I think we've already mentioned that, haven't we? He's got raw pace. Obviously very, very important for Ten Hag's system, because obviously Ten Hag does like to create overloads in the final third. So there is going to be a weakness of counterattacks, like transitions against us. So having this kid in our team is going to help a lot with that, with dealing with transitions. Yeah, so that's the first part. So do you want me to play these videos? Or
No. Don't play. Just you can see it from there.
Okay. Yeah, so you've got, he likes to join the attacking third and be an outlet. So as we've already mentioned, he's very, very good going forward, but also his recovery pace. If like Ten Hag wants to use him as part of what we call like the rest defense. So when we're in possession, sort of the last line of defense or the second to last line of defense, the rest defense, like what's your shape of when you've got possession? What are you going to do when the opposition looks to break on you? He can be part of that last line or the second to last line to break up those counterattacks. Yeah. And again, that's just because of him being very, very fast. And then one-on-one, Nuruddin talked about, he likes to go to ground. He's very combative. He likes to be aggressive. It is difficult to beat him from what I've watched of him. I know Danny talked about Antony. Obviously, there are going to be some circumstances where he does get beaten one-on-one. But from what I've seen of him, he looks very, very generally. Of course, you're always going to get beaten at some point. But generally, he looks strong one-on-one. So there are just a few clips of him there, one-on-one. And then press resistant. So he's very, very press resistant. So you can see here. And something I've noticed very, very well with Malacia is his ability to get out of those tight situations. So when you're playing against the likes of a Liverpool, a Manchester City, even a Chelsea, a Spurs, even an Arsenal, when you've got teams that are going to be a little bit more dangerous, they're going to try and be a bit more on the front foot against you. If you've got a player like this, you can get out of tight spaces well, retain the ball well, then obviously that's a big plus. And then this is more of a tactical point here. So I don't know whether everyone knows who's watching, but often Ten Hag has used this 2-3-5 in possession. So you've got the attacking overload of the 5 there, and then you've got a 3 behind, and then a 2, sort of the last line of defense there. And if you look at the top left of the picture, that is Tagliafico. So that's the Ajax right back at the time. And then if you look at this picture, and then you've got the right back Veltman just above the 26.5 meter bit. You've got Veltman there, who's the right back. And then if you look at this picture, they switch roles. So Tagliafico plays the slightly deeper role, and Veltman plays the part of the front 5. So like this shows sort of Ten Hag's tactical flexibility. So sort of the positional rotations, he likes to he likes to mix things up, keep things fluid, and he wants fullbacks that are both comfortable in that central area, sort of inverted, and in a more wide area. So what I've said here is that, he likes the fullbacks to be very technical and also to stop transitions. But here you can see Malacia, I think Nuruddin talked about in a central area, You see there, Malacia sort of providing a good key pass in the central area. So I think he could work in both areas, the wide and central areas. And then this is a bit more on the wide area in terms of his crossing. He's got a peach of a left foot, really. Very, very good crossing, like ground crosses and lofted crosses. So yeah, you can see here, if you look at this one here, really, really good output. Very, very dangerous. Yeah, so, and then not just explosive, he can also sort of progress from deep as well, as you can see there. So it's not just all about running in behind. He can also play that inverted fullback role or a deeper role and dictate from deep. And then I've said, yeah, I expect Alex Telles to probably, we look to get rid of Telles because I prefer Shaw personally, but that's my opinion. And then I think he can develop. I've done the stat man. I've done the stat man.
Listen.
The shameless madness at the end, man. But yeah, that's
absolutely.
It.
No, it's a brilliant thread. Make sure people to follow him. This guy's talented, man. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and on YouTube. Threadman Chazza, people. Make sure you follow him. Danny, by looking at that, what have you made of that kind of assessment? Do you like what you see from just kind of the first hand, reaction to that?
Yeah, no, it's you point out the strengths that everybody speaks to. So listen, man, I've been sitting in spaces, yeah. Even when it comes to the DM position, just get somebody who's got melanin like me with fast twitch muscles, and trust me, you'll find them in League 1 and they'll be winning the football back. Yeah. So when man tell me about a left back,
it's very vital,
he's
man.
good one-on-one.
Talk about it, man.
Like,
fullbacks are very important.
Yeah, it don't surprise me. It don't surprise me. But look, Nuruddin's been speaking about this guy. This is the second guy Nuruddin's been speaking about after Scamacca. I've been hearing about Scamacca all bloody summer from this madman. Yeah, all summer. And then the second person's Malacia. So, no, that's really, really good thread. Really, really good thread.
MJ says, remarkable average baller. Aaron Bissaka 2.0. Wish we got Lodi.
He's been talking to Z. That's who he's been talking to.
Oh, is it? Do you know this guy? All right, fair enough then. Fair enough.
But on that Scamacca guy, if you look at Fabrizio Romano's side on Twitter, and if you look, if you go down to his tweets, 20 hours ago, he put a tweet out about that Scamacca, and he said there's no talks with Serie A clubs, and he was most likely to go to a club in the Serie A, and it says there's been some contacts from abroad, there's interest from abroad, so. I think there could be one or two English clubs that might be interested because he's going to be quite cheap as well. He's going to be around 30. I'd have around about 30 million, something like that.
I bet Arsenal. I bet it's Arsenal. Yeah,
I think Arsenal would be a good fit.
It's better. It's Arsenal.
They've signed Jesus, haven't they? So I don't know.
What are you thinking, Nuruddin, in terms of Luke Shaw's position now?
Man. Just bring Scamacca and I'm done. I'm done out here. Get Scamacca here, man. To me, he's a pretty forward. I think a lot of the things that we spoke to, innit? I watched him 4 games, innit? 4 games I watched. Like one of the quarter-final games and then the semi-final games, and then I watched the final in the Europa League. Like, so Malacia for me is a brilliant option. Like I said, I like intensity, man. And like Danny said, fast twitch, muscles, aggressive.
Do you know what it is as well, Nuruddin, yeah? So, look, I'm expecting Luke Shaw to step it up because there's a World Cup coming up. But if he doesn't, we want a plan B. And Telles is no plan B. Telles is no plan B. Like, a fat overweight Luke Shaw is actually better than Telles. I'm going to be honest. Like, Luke Shaw...
But it's not what we should want, though, innit? I don't want...
It's not what we want, but...
better. Yeah.
No. But I'm thinking from Telles to... Malacia being the option. That's why I'm happy. That's why. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, I trust Nuruddin's word. I trust Charlie's opinion. People I respect told me this guy's got potential and he's better than Telles. So I'm like, if this is the guy that's going to light up a fire under Luke Shaw and a World Cup, I don't see how we benefit. Do you know what I mean? I don't see how we don't benefit. Is what I mean. So that's another angle. That's another angle to it for me.
This is it. So Swallow CEO Canavelli says, tell Sky on the Scamacca deal, we have no contact with PSG in the last 10 days for the Scamacca deal. Also, I can say that there are no talks with Serie A clubs. We could have contacts with other clubs from abroad for Scamacca. There's interest. You know what I mean? So
I love CEOs abroad, man. They just be spilling the beans, man. Like...
Yeah, of course. Why not, though? Why not? You know what I mean? You've got to be honest because they need money. You know what I mean? So, like, you know what it is with Telles here? I feel like he's been hard done by. I think ultimately he's not good enough, by the way, because I feel like that's the standards we need to set. But has he been, Nuruddin, when you look at Telles here, has he been given the kind of like, I don't know, the good fortune that he needed? Like, he's coming to a bad system, a bad defense. No, are you just?
Yeah. Listen, like I said, he's coming to like he's been part of the worst season in Man United Premier League history. Like statistically, eye test wise, like being in the stadium, we've been there. I think he played well in the Champions League games. I'm not gonna lie, because the game's slower, innit? So the game's a bit more slower. And I thought in the Champions League game, especially at home, I thought he was vital at times. He wasn't as passive as that Luke Shaw and lazy as Luke Shaw can be at times, if you know what I mean. So
he's suited to European football. What a surprise!
Yeah, he's more suited to European football. But I think for his first season, I think he didn't get a sniff for a long time, and then obviously Ralph came in and Ralph gave him a chance. But yeah, there are times where you're like, this guy hasn't got it. He's not lived up to the pace. He looks a bit shaky. But on the ball, I think, but if we're going to play him in a system, that's going to get the best out of him where everybody knows where they are, Saeed. He might look better. He might be better. But at the end of the day, I think he's a World Cup year as well for him. And he's fighting to be in Brazil's team, isn't he? So at the end of the day, if he's going to go that way, then he's going to have to. He's going to have to find himself a club, because if Man United are buying a 22-year-old and they've got a long-standing guy who's been there for 8 years, then you just got to look around and go, "What's going on?" You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah, go on.
I was going to bring that up. So just one more thing on Tellers is just, have you noticed though? See, when it comes to deal like Tellers, he's not making over 100 grand a week, and he costs like 14 million. Have you man noticed the club will sell guys like this? They'll move a Tellers on. But when it comes to guys that are on a whole 100 grand a week, or they cost more than 30 mil, they want to be stingy. It frustrates me.
Absolutely.
Treat those man like Tellers, and we'll get places quickly.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's on Joe Glazer. That's on Joe Glazer. Don't get it twisted. That's a Glazer thing. Do you know what? This has crushed me a little bit. Not because I don't rate Martinez. It's just I wanted Timber, and if Laurie Whitwell's tier 1, so if United are pursuing Martinez, unless they're pursuing him as a midfield option, which I'm skeptical about. Some people have put that idea forward, Saeed.
You know, I'm not really too keen on him as well. I'll be honest with you. I'm not really too keen on Martinez.
United know Timber has, because we haven't heard Timber officially say I'm staying, but this would indicate Timber's maybe said something to them. Do you get what I'm saying to you? If we're pursuing, because this could be done very soon. This ain't going to take long. Arsenal have done the groundwork for us. They've already negotiated for us, basically. So don't get me wrong, good player. It's just I think Timber's ceiling's a lot higher, man. A lot higher.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right, man. Big up to I think it's Laura Whitwell here says Lisandro Martinez next on Man United's radar list after securing Tyrell Malacia. Since defender favours MUFC over Arsenal, work to do with Ajax over fee. Erik ten Hag's influence on signing is clear, with Frankie de Jong and Eriksen also in the works. Nuruddin,
Saeed, I point out, give it up for that Manchester Evening News guy, innit? He tweeted this morning. He's basically saying Man United are doing the same thing that they've done with with Malacia. They're jumping in to hijack the deal with Martinez. So
yeah, man, hijack FC, man. That's what we love to see, man. Hijack.
We are now in a hijack FC. So yo, listen, pick up that guy in it. You know what I'm talking about? That Dobson kind of.
Yeah, Rob Dawson. Yeah,
from Goal. From Goal. Is he from Goal?
No, he's from
ESPN. ESPN.
No, not him. The kid from Manchester Evening News. He's from Manchester Evening News. Jamie Dobson or something like that.
Yeah. Jamie Dobson.
Jamie Dobson. So that's what he tweeted this morning. So shout out to him, innit? You know me. I've got beef with certain people that write for the Evening News, innit? So
of course.
If I can be objective, innit? If another man's doing well, getting news out there to the fans, I big him up, innit? And he was the one actually that wrote if I'm not mistaken, wrote the article about the dividends. Because your boy, innit, Samuel Lucas, didn't want to know, innit? He started talking about things.
Whose boy? Whose boy?
No, I'm talking to Saeed.
Is that your boy, Saeed?
No, listen.
Samuel Lucas loved him, man.
No.
Samuel Lucas get into it sometimes.
I've got most journalists blocked, man.
That's Saeed's source. Okay.
No, actually, him and Saeed get into it. They get into it. You know, he had beef with Saeed and Flex, innit? He's got beef. He's got beef with with content makers, innit?
You know who's blocked me now? I think he's blocked me. I've got Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail blocked me. I've got Hurst Class blocked me. I think there's two others as well. I think that's blocked me. So I don't get along with journalists anyway. So for those that are thinking that, I
To
get
be
along
fair
with
to
journalists.
him, listen, Alex Shaw, I did a whole show about him, but he didn't block me. He actually was like, watch my other stuff. And I'm trying to be in conversation with him because I want to have a rational conversation. I was just like, you're coming out with this agenda about making it about a drama when it's dividend day. And he's like, oh, that was meant to be. So to be fair to him, he didn't. Yeah. He said to me, I should be embarrassed, and I embarrassed him and exposed him in it with a Stone Simon Stone article. And then he came back. To be fair to him, I give it up for him. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's get in a space, me and you chop it up, man, because you know me. Get into it. I'm happy to get into it.
Big up to Killis.
No, that's the biggest thing, man. No. Has he banned you actually, Said? Has he blocked you, Locus?
No, he's still there. He's still there.
No, he's not blocked.
I'm surprised he ain't blocked me. I got him to mute for 2 days, Nuruddin. I caught him out on a Lingard story, innit? I caught him out big time.
That one.
I caught him mute. Well. He had to mute for 2 days. Got onto him.
Yeah, it's mad.
He runs agendas, man. Can't have a journalist running their own personal agenda. Sorry, Said, go on, man.
No, absolutely. It's true. You got to, man. You have to be very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Your integrity of your report has to be questioned, man. So for me, it's every right you had to do that, man. Big up to Killers. Ramadi Lassie says, Fulham want to sign Man United defender Eric Bailly and have approached United about his availability. Fulham want a season-long loan with the option to buy Charlie. Are you happy for him to kind of like moving on now? Do we have to get rid of him to get maybe a centre-back in? Is that the reason why we're kind of getting rid of him now?
Yeah, but I'd like him to go for an actual, for good, really. I'm not too keen on these loans, Henderson on loan. I wanted Henderson to be sold properly, really. I wanted to bring in some funds. But look, I think Bailly's had his chances. Eric Bailly is actually, he's okay. I'm not a great fan of him. I think he's okay. But I just think he's not fit often enough. That's the biggest problem. As an athlete, as a football player, you've got to be fit. You've got to be ready to help your team out, and he hardly ever is. So, it's true. Yeah, under Ollie, he should have been given 1 or 2 more chances. Away at Leicester, when Maguire was brought straight back in from injury, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, Eric Bailly, he's been here for however many years he's been here. He's played under God knows how many managers now. He's another one. Just get rid of. Ten Hag's not going to use Bailly. I wouldn't have thought. But I'm thinking, Said. I'm thinking like. I think we will get Martinez. I think we'll get Eriksen. I think we'll get De Jong. I think we'll get obviously Malacia. And then I think
is that enough for you? You think that's enough?
No. I don't think it's enough. But I think it'll be 2 or 3 weeks with no more signings. I think you'll see a few more players go, and then I think you'll see a forward come in, some sort of versatile forward we're looking for apparently. And I've still got a small hope that we can bring in another midfielder. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think we will bring in also a forward. But I think you'll see these 4 signings come in, and I think we'll get them all in before the first game of pre-season. I really do. The way we're moving at the moment, before the 12th, and then I don't think we'll see any signings for a couple of weeks, and I think we'll see a forward. And I'm still hoping for another midfield player. I really am, but I don't see that. I don't think it's incredibly likely right now.
Lured him, man. You know what I mean? Buy him, man. It's sad to see, man. I thought when we truly signed him, I thought, you know what, man? We've got our centre back for the next 5 years or so, man.
I'm devastated. How dare they take? You listen, Eric Bailly is a planet and a universe. But it's a universe by himself. Eric Bailly is the only person that when he's on that football pitch that gives me jokes. He should have, wherever he goes till he retires, he should have a special Eric Bailly camp, especially for him. To me, I will always remember him and Rocco, centre halves, in his first season, in that season with Jose, where those mans were just cleaning up. Like I'm talk about aggression. Like I still can't believe that how many times both of them have not been sent off 5 times each. Like Rocco was never sent off for Man United, and that's a quiz question. Like to go Rocco. So for me, fond memories of Eric Bailly. I do think last season there could have been. There were times where he fit and he could have been played. I do think he's competent in terms of what he is, but he's a madman. He's got deficiencies in his game. But when you keep getting injured, then it's hard for you to iron out those mistakes and to be coached in a way that for you to go and play and get that match fitness and to improve. But at times when he's had to pop in and do a job, I thought he's been good. But in the long term, I think what Charlie said, if you can't stay fit, you know what I mean? If you can't stay fit generally, then at the end of the day, it's very difficult to make a case. Yeah. Jacob
this is
you know what? You see that, Danny? People are just running agendas on Man United. When you talk about us not being respected, it's crazy. It's absolutely...
You know this journalist. Does anyone know this journalist?
Yeah, I know Jacob Sandvik. Yeah. I know who he is.
Danny, does this report worry Chelsea watching developments with Frankie de Jong? Man United still favourites to sign Barca midfielder, but his admirers at Chelsea. Meanwhile, deals for Ake and Sterling progressing. We've got to be quick. But again, like I said to you, I think this one, surely United have got this wrapped up. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any really truth to this story.
It depends how you look at it. For me, this still's been wrapped up for a minute. Beyond that, though, don't get twisted. Chelsea's owner is their director of football, and he comes from an American sports background. So this guy's got no etiquette. He don't care. He's trying to hijack stuff all over the place. So would I be surprised if he tried something? No. He's scrambling. Yeah. He's just bought a football club. He's fired people or let people go who can help him. He's doing. He tried to do swap deals for Lukaku, thinking it's baseball in the NBA. He was told football, this ain't so easy to do. So this guy is being super aggressive. And I'm not even taking the piss. Listen, if you've got an owner that's ambitious, you're going to do stuff. So, but this still, nah, I'm not worried at all. Not even a little bit. Even the article said, if the Man United de Jong deal collapses. So even the article's acknowledging it. Exactly. So I'm not worried.
Absolutely. Big up to Karen took the kids, man. It's been a while, man. You know what I mean? I thought you took the kids and you just never came back, man. So, hopefully you got them kids there. Hey, yeah, man. It's been a while, Karen. 1 month to do signing. I can't wait for August. Let's see who else we get. Big up, man. Well, we've got 1 month left, ideally, Charlie, to go and get the rest of the signings done. Do you think that's achievable? 1 month to get at least 4 more signings done? Minimum. Because I think minimum 5 signings, man. We need minimum.
Yeah, no. Look, I think we need 6 players. I've said that all the time. Eriksen and 5 others. I said that from the start. What do I think is going to happen? I think we're going to get 5 players, including Eriksen. I think that's what we're going to see. But if Manchester United, look, I'm not going to get too carried away. We've got to look at what other teams are doing, right? Manchester City and Liverpool. I know Liverpool haven't strengthened that well. In terms of a lot of fans are unhappy about not signing another midfielder, etc. But Manchester City and Liverpool are already ahead of us, right? I would argue Spurs are ahead of us right now. They've already got Conte. He's had a few months. They've signed some good players. Chelsea are looking like making some moves as well. We don't know what's going to happen quite with that yet. But Chelsea's squad is also, I know they've had a few defenders leave, but they've still got a lot of quality there, right? If we really want to put a statement down, right? If we really want to put a statement down, sign Eriksen, sign 5 other players, give Erik ten Hag a fantastic start. I think we will win a trophy next season if we were to do that. I'm not saying it would be the title. I'm saying it would be a cup. And I do think we will finish in the top 4, right? But if we don't get that other midfield partner for Frankie de Jong, I do worry a little bit, right? I do worry a little bit. I hear what people say about Martinez. I personally think he's at best as a centre-back. I think he's played about 7 times the amount of games at centre-back than he has in midfield. So he's played many, many more games at the back. For me, I think he would be best there. Obviously, if we get an injury in midfield or if Ten Hag wants to try him there, fair enough, right? But I still think we need that other midfield player if we really want to put a statement down, right? But yeah, I think we will sign 5 players, Saeed. I do think we will. I'm a lot more confident. And I'm going to give Murto, if this de Jong deal is what has been reported, £56 million up front, and the wage, I'm still waiting for the wage. There's been some conflicting reports about wage. Some people are saying it's over 300k. I've seen a report by Disco Mirror saying it's going to be 250. Would he take a pay cut, etc.? But if, from what we've seen so far, in terms of how we've saved money by the looks of it on Frankie de Jong and used that money to sign Malacia, I'm quite happy with what we've done with Malacia because things were going away. I said last time, I'm very, very worried unless we've got something behind the scenes that we're working on. And within a week, that thing behind the scenes has come to the fore, hasn't it? Yeah, it's come to the forefront. We can all see it now. So it's looking promising, but we really need that other midfield partner for De Jong if we really want to start off well. And, you know, just one last point. I've seen some people saying they'll be happy to finish 10th next season. What are you on about? 10th?
What?
This is Manchester United. I've seen some people saying they'll be happy to finish in the top 6. This is let's really be ambitious here. I mean, come on. We should be.
What you think and what you want is two different things. But I get what you mean. Yeah, it's true. You know, you should aim for the best. You should aim to go higher. I just want to analyze Martinez for a bit, Dan. I'm going to come to you. Question. Big up to Killis. I'm going to read a couple of quotes from apparently what Ten Hag thinks of Martinez. Eric Ten Hag has spoken about Lisandro Martinez in midfield. He's not the player to play midfield. He said in 2022, I believe. After he already used him in midfield, Martinez does not have the stamina to put him in midfield in what Eric Ten Hag said in 2021 after he played him there. It would really surprise me if he would play him there. I only see him as a left centre back, which has been his position for a very long time. What you saying in terms of, you don't think for me, right, is that it could be a Daley Blind mold, because Daley Blind was very, very comfortable at centre back, whether you like it or not, Danny, and can play there, but they can also be comfortable at left back. That's what Ajax do. They're very, very comfortable in how they play you. What do you think is CDM wise? Is it a risky move to play him at CDM?
It's definitely a risky move because you're watching him. Look, I'll run the propaganda and I'll have the conversation just for fun. But like in all seriousness, we want to sign the player because what we've seen him do at centre back, right?
Yeah.
You haven't seen him. He's played 2,000 minutes. Just a little over 2,000 minutes in his entire career as a midfielder, right? So that's not a lot of minutes. It's like 20 football matches. The guy's 24, going to be 25 soon. So we don't have a blueprint for him at an elite level. And then you want him to come to the Premier League and cover for De Jong in a midfield that everybody's concerned about. Listen, when I'm having fun at 1 o'clock in the morning on the space, I'll indulge it. But in all seriousness, he's coming to play centre-back. That's what he is. If you know anything about the way Ten Hag was playing last season, so not the De Jong Ajax team, the latest Ajax team, Martinez is basically threading the ball between the lines as a centre-back. It is actually quite... His passing is excellent, actually. It's excellent. His long passing, he's got... I'm not just talking basic long passes. He's got flair, dinks, a little bit of spin. He can do a few different... He's got quite some range of his long passing as well, so... I expect him to come and play as a centre-back, not as a midfielder. On the midfield thing quickly, Saeed, I've been saying this to Man United fans, you've got to take that up with Ten Hag. You've got to take it up with him. I back him. I want to see. I've got two modes with it. Some days I'm like, I know better than Ten Hag. He will learn why he needs a DM.
Yeah, I feel like that as well, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
On some days I've got the energy, especially late at night in the space. I'm getting onto him. But at the same time, I want to see what his idea is, because there is a way around it. If the idea is for the team to recover the football quickly, so we're trying to get it back in bunches, 1, 2s and 3s, so 2s and 3s and 4s, as opposed to relying on one DM, then it's less of an issue. But even with a DM in Alvarez last season, Saeed, I can tell you they were still vulnerable on the counter-attack. Because of what Charlie pointed out there, that 2-3-5 structure, it can be even more. He could put 6 in that front line if he feels like it. Ten Hag's a bit of a madman. And
man,
when I watch the Diversi games, I'm sure Charlie's noticed it. What I've seen in that league is the teams don't have the quality to hurt them. So they just get away with a lot of shit. If you watch
I hope not here.
No, it's a fact. Listen, his teams are vulnerable to counters. It's just a fact. If you watch the Benfica game, the first leg, that was 2-2. They conceded that second goal because of that base structure that Charlie pointed out in his thread. I've been pointing it out as well. Sometimes it's a 1 and a 3, right? Yeah. So basically, he'll literally say Gravenberch, who's playing in Fred's role on paper, just so you can picture it. Yo, you go left wing. He'll tell his right back, go be striker. This is what Ten Hag will do. So, and they'll do that, Saeed, when the ball's on the half. They're not waiting for the final third to do these things. It's while the play hasn't developed yet and they're already up. And against Benfica, somebody gave the ball away on the halfway line, counter, 2-2. They was in control of that leg, 2-1. 2-1, they were up. They would have went through, you know? So, it's just one of those things we've got to bear over. But I know you asked me about Martinez. If he comes, we've got a very, very good ball-playing centre-back. Like, in terms of passing, excellent. In terms of 1v1 defending, go back and watch how he dealt with Haaland. Because I prefer Timber, but you go back and watch those games. He was covering for Timber's mistakes, actually, especially away from home in that tie against Dortmund in the group stages. So, and we need that. If there's no DM, Saeed, we need a quick defender. Like 2 months ago, Saeed.
Absolutely, you're right. Yeah.
I was saying 2 CMs and a right winger before we get to centre back. Because I thought in my mind, I'm building a team. I'm being a football fan. Like I'm the manager. So I'm thinking De Jong and a DM. Then we get a right winger. We're protecting the ball. We've got protection, so we could worry about centre back as the 4th priority.
Yeah.
Now I know Ten Hag don't want a DM. Centre back with speed has gone right up the list. Has gone higher up the list for me. So.
Well, you know what? I went on the spaces. Me and Danny get into it. I said we need to build the base. I was like, yo, forget about the forwards. Sort me out.
But Nuruddin, you're half-hearted. The base starts with De Gea. He's getting the Joe Hart treatment. Yeah, so we start there.
Nah, man. Listen. let me pause, man. Everybody pause, man.
Listen, say him.
We will not have no slander on David De Gea on this stream in front of 900 people. We will not have slander on David De Gea's name, man. I'm one of a dying breed of David De Gea supporters. Please. At least honor him his last season. Let him have his last season, guys. Come on, man. Respect his last season.
You know the funny thing? I actually used to die on that hill of David De Gea. And then the Sheffield United, as Saeed, I was like, Saeed, get him out of here. Get him out of here. I'm done.
You see why, man? By the way, let me just read the super chat. Zayn Biassi. Nuruddin, you still sign anyone. You guys are worse off. Jesus got the number 9 shirt. Party emoji. Big up to Zayn Biassi, man. He's coming for you already, man. He's coming for you. Big up to everybody who's watching, man. Let's see how many likes we're on now, man. If we're not on 400 likes, I always say it to you, man. Shame on you, innit? You know what I mean? Yeah. Honestly, if you not like the video, shame on you, because this is top tier content, man. But you know what it is for me? You know what it is for me with David De Gea? You know what it is? How I always say, like, beggars can't be choosers in a certain sense of when you need him the most, David De Gea always turns up. When in a game when it's tight.
Everywhere you go. You always take De Gea with you.
You know what it is? Maybe, you know what it is, yeah? Maybe because I go to Old Trafford, I see the appreciation. I don't know, but the whole of Old Trafford loves David De Gea. And when you see the appreciation, every single game when he comes back into his East stand, we always give him a round of applause. I just feel like, I don't know, I just appreciate what he does. But at the same time, I also know his limitations. And I'm like, okay, I get why fans go to him. But I don't know, man. I've just seen him time and time again saved by United. That's why I don't really get onto him as much as people do. But each to their own, innit? Each to their own.
You know what? It's simple for me, innit? Like it's a lot of emotions, innit? It's a lot of emotions, innit? With David De Gea in terms of like the history. I know there were certain seasons we could have been fighting relegation. You know what I mean? And my guy was doing what
another goalkeeper would have made half those saves, man. Stop it.
You know what? It was David De Gea, man. It was David that was doing it. And my guy, for me, introduced something into goalkeeping, because every great goalkeeper introduces something. Making saves with his legs, man. Ain't nobody out here doing that, man. Now I see other keepers trying it, trying to flink out their legs, man, getting nutmegged. You know what I mean? Hold tight out for goalkeeper, yeah. When he's trying to do De Gea, man, I'm like, stop it. You can't do it, lad. You ain't like De Gea, man. You ain't got that cat skills. But anyway, put that aside.
That question there is a good question. I'm going to come to you. Is height not worrying? Will Varane and Sancho work? We don't really have an aggressive leader like Rudiger type player. Is that important? Because Harry Maguire... Sorry, go on.
Lazaro is aggressive.
He's aggressive, yeah. But in terms of maybe like a Van Dijk, a Diaz, someone that you need alongside...
Well, the centre-back that wins the headers, people just cry about the one time he does it.
Now, Maguire...
We've already got a centre-back who wins headers.
To me,
Lissandro, do you know what he does, Nuruddin, that I like? Because even though he's small side, yeah, he's not like Lindelof. Yeah, Lindelof is don't even get me started. Lissandro, even if he knows he can't win the battle, he's just going to put his arm in your back and try to get you off back. He's aggressive. He will. Yeah. Listen, he had to mark obviously Nunez and Haaland. That's the best examples you can look at. So I advise any football fan who's concerned about that. If you've got BT Sport or you've got any way to watch those Champions League games back against Benfica and Dortmund, go watch them back and you'll see how he deals with big strikers. Yeah, you can see it with your own eyes.
The bigger thing for me, he's not passive, and I was actually quite shocked how good Varane was. like how good Varane was in the air. I was really surprised. Like,
he's good.
You know, I go into the stadium, I'm like, wow, Varane is actually quite aggressive when it comes to the ball in the air. But this guy, Saeed, he's not. Like I said to you, what do I always say to you? Rule 101, like defending. I love my defenders aggressive. I can't.
Like a Rojo. Did you like Rojo?
Rojo on Bailly. Rojo on Bailly
that
season. Rojo on Bailly gave me that feeling like, hey, people are scared, man. People are thinking, oh, damn. If we just get past them, one of them's going to crush us. That's how I like my defenders, because that's what I grew up on, man. I'm sorry.
Wasn't that Jose Mourinho's best season defensive-wise?
And I remember when the tackle from behind wasn't a yellow card. So I'm from that generation, innit?
Yeah.
You know, where people need to put the reducer on you, yeah? So at the end of the day, he's aggressive, he's Argentinian. I just can't wait, innit, just to spite England, innit? I can't wait to sing Argentina, Argentina, Argentina. That's one of my favourite chants at Old Trafford, man. Because you know what? Some England fans sing stand up if you hate Man U, innit? So we always have to give them back. But for me, what I watched of him, and I watched in the group stages this season, like I watched their games in the group stages, and as Danny said, the 2 games that he played, 2 games each in it that he played against Benfica, and he played against Ajax. He played against Borussia Dortmund. As a team, they were super impressive. The only thing that somebody was telling me the other day, that somebody was like, oh, his injury record is not that great, Nuruddin, his injury record. And I'm like, oh, fuck. We've already got injury centre half.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that's like, oh, I need to look at the stats and see what type of injuries he's getting. But the sense of gravity, Martinez, So the sense of gravity in terms of like passing, the through balls that I've seen, he is one of the best passing centre-halves I've seen in a long, long time, bro. Like, literally, you know, in the space of this much, threading a ball through a space of this much, like playing it to feet, like punching it into people. So I'm here for that.
Yeah. Charlie, is there a sense that, this is a wild shout, but we play an actual back 3? Is there a kind of is there a chance that Ten Hag does play a back 3? Because I'm looking at it thinking, if he does bring in, what's his name, Martinez. You've got Martinez, Lindelof, Maguire, and Varane. Got 4 centre backs. You got obviously 3 left backs right now. Would you think that he would do maybe a 5 at the back and then operate Lisandro Martinez like that?
No. But I don't think he'll play like when you see the team. The thing is, this is difficult to judge because when you see a Pep Guardiola team, for example, on the team sheet, that's not what the formation looks like when they're in the game. This is the thing, like. So you'll probably see 4-2-3-1 on the team sheet, or the Man United. They don't even report. They report it by numbers now instead of by position, and that really pisses me off on Twitter. Well, why can't they just do it by position?
And they don't even do it properly, Charlie. They don't even do it properly. It's ridiculous what they do at Old Trafford. It's absolutely.
They spelled Ronaldo wrong, didn't they? Ronaldo.
Yeah, they're shocking. They're shocking. They don't do it right. I've seen it so many times.
Like, this is the thing, Said. Like, we might often build up in a back 3. Like, if Frankie de Jong comes, I personally think Fred. I'm not too keen on McTominay or Fred, but I think de Jong will probably have to play a slightly deeper role in his first year, because Fred is very, very poor at screening at the back line. So I think de Jong might have to like when we're building up, we're building up in a back 3 anyway. But no, I don't think we'll play a back 3 in terms of 3 centre halves. I don't think we'll play a back 3.
What do you say, Nuruddin?
I'm just saying that I've just seen Seed off, and it's like it's raining because the door is open now. They go out, the cat's in it. They're missing Saeed, man.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
Listen,
at the end of the day, the thing that I would say on Martinez, for me, one of the things that I like, Saeed, and I'm sorry, I know I keep repeating myself, but not passive defending. Some of our fan base are so used to us just having passive defenders. Like, do anybody even get yellow cards? Do anybody get red cards? When was the last time our centre have got
no tactical fouling? There's no tactical fouling anymore. And Martinez has those things. He's got the dark arts. Trust me. Dark arts.
He's got bit of the dark arts in him.
He's going to say to Fred, yeah, when that time when Everton were on the transition, you pull him down. You take him out. You don't. You want
to be jogging alongside him and watching him. Like, take the man out and the ball and everybody. Like, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, United Sweden, big up to you, bro. Love to have you on the channel again. Big up everybody. Get the likes up. Yeah, man. Everybody get the likes up. Let's back Eric Ten Hag. Really hope the fans get behind him. I think for me, the fans will get behind him because at the end of the day, even with Ten Hag when it was bad, yeah, I felt like the fans were behind him and they were behind him rather than the players. I think the players owe everybody as fans a lot. You know what I mean? It's now the players have to turn up. The manager, everybody knows what the manager is about. Nobody can say, what's Ten Hag done? What's Ten Hag? Everybody knows how he plays at Ajax, Charlie. And it's about the players proving it more. You know what I mean? So that's where it comes into place, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's about application as well, Said. Like, for example, we all know that Antony Martial has got, well, some people may disagree, but I will disagree with them heavily. And most of us think that Martial is incredibly talented. I think he's one of the most, one of the biggest talents we've had in the last few years. But it's about application. What are you going to do when you lose the ball? You know, are you going to apply yourself? And this is the thing with Martial. Like, I think Martial could develop under Ten Hag if he wants it. You look at what he did with Sebastian Haller, Dusan Tadic at false nine. Martial has got a chance under Ten Hag. He's a, we call it like a Ten Hag type of player. He's a player that likes to retain the ball well. I think he's very, very good. I think he's very, very good on the out wide. I think he's very, very good in terms of his link-up play. I think he'll work well with Donny and Sancho. But it's about application, and that's one thing I like about Malacia. He's not just a talented player, but he's also applies himself very well. As Nuruddin said, he's not just. I think we've got too many players that are very, very talented, but do not apply themselves in the best way. We've got too many players that apply themselves very, very well, but they haven't got the fundamentals of the game. We've got some eggs in that basket and some eggs in that basket. We want a third basket. We can put all our eggs in that basket. Talented players who give everything, and that's what we need to see. Side, we need to see passion, passion and desire. Okay, but you need to be good enough as well. So that's what I want to see come through.
Absolutely. You know where, Danny, is it a fair kind of like, you know, thing to say that in terms of, yes, we haven't got the signings that maybe United fans would want, but at least it's what the manager wants, and at least then fans can be like, you know what, okay, if you're gonna get them players, let's go and get them in it. So there has to be a pressure to go and get this player, because at the end of the day now, it might be wanting to come to United, but if Arsenal pay the money, then you know what I mean, it's whoever plays first, and it's the same thing with Rafinha. So at least now the manager's got his set sights on Martinez, Eriksen. I don't know what's going on with the Antony situation. I think that might be above our pay grade. I'm not sure, man. I don't know what are you thinking with the Antony as well. At least it's his signings, isn't it, which finally we're getting rather than what Woodward want.
Yeah, I think the club strategy to follow Ten Hag's lead this summer is the right strategy. To be fair, what the tier ones have been briefing basically since May, it seems like, and the Malacia one, as happy as it made me, I still need to see us do this on 40, 50 million pound deals. You get what I'm saying to you? Like a 50 million pound deal, Joe Glazer's not going to get in the way. That's not a difficult deal for Man United to do. It's if we go hijack Martinez, because that's what Ten Hag wants, that's where you'll see everything that the tier ones have been briefing basically since May, that De Jong is the focus, but don't get it twisted. They've got their eyes on other transfers, and they're going to be activated once the De Jong situation is further down the line. And it seems like, and I keep telling people, I'm taking this day by day. It's the best way to approach this football club for your own sanity, trust me. So as it looks now on the 1st of July, like Charlie, I'm expecting, other than Antony, I'd expect Eriksen to decide before that game against Liverpool on the 12th. I'd expect, obviously, De Jong will go through, Malacia to go through. And this Martinez situation, it'll probably be, if it's true, and it looks like it is, to be concluded before next weekend. So that's before the Liverpool game's the following week on a Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe, Nuruddin. So
I think so, yeah.
As it stands right now, the club are doing what they claim they were going to do. Side, we can have our preferences for how we want the club to operate. All I ever judged these guys on for the last few years is, are you going to stick to your... Woodward couldn't stick to his own stupid plans. His plans were dumb, Saeed, and he couldn't even stick to them. I can't... just thinking about Woodward just actually gets me angry. But this summer, we have a plan. It's been briefed clearly. It looks like we're sticking to it. On Antony, somebody raised this point to me a few days ago on Spaces. He's been injured. As a shout out to Mr. T, actually.
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah,
fair play. He's 2 months. He's been out. He's supposed to be out for a month. right? He got injured in April, I believe, or maybe back into March. Actually, it might have been April. And he's been injured ever since. Even now, he's not training with the Ajax team. And they're asking for 80 million euros, which is about 70 million pounds. So if we do get that fifth signing, like Charlie was saying, and I think Charlie's the way Charlie's looking at it seems quite sensible, to be honest with you, that's going to be the deal that drags maybe through all the way through July till August will be the Antony deal. Unless we see more pivoting. Because right now we've been pivoting. Okay, cool. De Jong's done. Malacia moved quick. Couldn't get Timber. Cool, go get Martinez. So even though Murta's switching targets, it's still all Ten Hag's targets. It may be that if we need to get an alternative to Antony, go trust the scouts. And funny enough, you like Bailly. I can tell you who recommended Bailly. The guy that recommended Bailly to us is the same guy that found Santi Cazorla, Godin, Griezmann, Falcao, all of these guys for Atletico Madrid, Villarreal, Malaga. It's the same scout who recommended Bailly, by the way. Go holler at him. Go see if he can find you a technical winger. If Antony, because Antony at 70 mil, I'm sorry. Even at 60 millions, I like Antony a lot, Said. Like, I like him a lot. I think he can speed up the way Ten Hag wants to play. He, as a winger, is disciplined and plays the way Ten Hag wants to. But at 60 mil from the Arrivederci, after we've done a deal of what, guaranteed 58 mil for De Jong with add-ons, they want 60 million. I don't know, man. If it's 60 mil, but those are with add-ons, so the deal's really, I don't know, say 48 million and 12 add-ons. Yes, I'm an accountant now as a Man United fan. I want to see us doing these. I'll be honest. I want to see us just...
You're saving money for the Glazers, are you?
Yeah,
Murto's ringing him now. Murto's ringing him up. Look.
That is Murto. That is Murto saying, keep doing the prop. But honestly, Side, like, listen, with Glazeronomics, these things matter. Everything we save on one deal impacts the next deal because these guys are cheapskates who don't want to fund the club as extremely as they did for the lot. If you think they're going to spend another $1 billion over the next decade when they can spend half and get the same dividends, you don't know the Glazers. Don't underestimate these people. So, yeah, I'll leave it on that, man. I think the Antony one's going to drag, to be honest with you. So I don't see that happening.
I said exactly the same thing. Antony, to me, is towards the end. He's recovering from injury. There's videos of him in it, like on social media. He's still recovering. So we're going to have to wait. But to me, I said I wanted Timber. If I said to me, who would you have out of Ajax? I wanted Timber, but I'm happy with Martinez. I'm happy to give him a go. I'm happy because he's aggressive again. And I just want to sing my Argentina songs, innit? Argentina. OT, man. Stretford End, man. When it starts getting jumping with Argentina, Charlie, you have to be there. It's a beautiful sight.
Man, I'll be there. I'll be there for some games, man. Some games, but I agree on the Antony thing as well. I think Antony's a decent player, but look, and people, I don't like this notion about, like, people always say things like, why are you trying to save the Glazers money? We're not trying to save the Glazers money. We know that there's going to be some sort of a budget. There always is in business. There always is a budget. We just want the best deals for our football club. That's all we want. We just want the best players to come.
But the most of it is about a reputation. It's building a reputation, where we're not buying ridiculous money, like 80 million for Harry Maguire.
Sorry to interrupt, because I've had this debate before on here, and what Man United fans need to understand is John Murta, he can't establish a reputation tomorrow, right? If Nureddin is his counterpart in France or Germany or Spain, and he sees you hand over exactly what Barcelona want as quickly as possible, like, Nureddin's not a Man United fan. He's working for another football club. He's going to see you, Murta, and say, you're just like Woodward. You are no different than Ed Woodward. Man United have not changed. We'll set our price, put a tax on it, and you will be back with your tail between your legs in 6 weeks. You can't. That has to stop today, not tomorrow. That's why the structure of the Young deal is phenomenal. That's why I don't see us actually paying what Ajax want for Antony. That would be a contradiction. So I'll get onto Murta and the football club if those two deals don't make sense next to each other, Saeed. I'm going to complain about it because you've done that with De Jong. Martinez ain't an expensive sign. What's he going to cost? 40 mil? Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, Man United, that's calm. On Antony, get that price down. Make it a decent package and let's have this reputation. From this window, it will benefit us for next summer.
MJ don't rate him. MJ don't rate him. MJ saying here, please no Antony, petulant, zero end product. I'm a Diallo.
Yeah, he's not watched him. Yeah,
MJ, I don't know. Have you watched him?
Yeah. He's not watched him. At the end of the day, it's simple. he's one of the guys that actually one of the best positional wingers that I've seen in a long time. And it's not because Danny broke it down on his thing, but the games that I watched, like he literally holds position. When you go high and wide, and that's why it's going to be peak.
We need that.
That's why it's going to be peak for some of these guys who want to, what Saeed calls freestyle. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because Ten Hag is going to tell you, where were you? Like, you know what I mean? Even
and I want to see that though, because I've seen for the last, I think since when did we have last right winger? Maybe Ronaldo. No one just be on that right hand side. I don't know what it is with just right hand side, yeah. But I've seen Ashley Young run down that end. I've seen Wan-Bissaka run down that end with absolutely no aim. No, it's almost been kind of like just open, and there's been no threat on that side. Like if we were to find stats here of our chance creation from the right hand side, I'll be astounded, yeah, if it's very, very high. I generally do. Just from that actual
it's going to be very interesting to see, like in terms of what we've got on that side and what kind of team we're going to. But look at the players that we have. At the end of the day, trying out maybe rotating Palestri and Ahmad if you don't send them alone, or you know what I mean, like getting Sancho to go.
Ahmad's got to stay for me. Ahmad's got to stay.
To go back there for a season. I'm happy with that. I'm not in no rush. And I think with Antony, I don't think he needs to be in a rush, genuinely. I think he knows that. He needs to find form again. But if we were, to me, first initial when I heard about it, it was 40 million. How does he go from 40 to 80 and now he's somewhere 60? I'm like, nah, it's ridiculous, man. The jump.
I think you know what it is. I think also they're looking to like say, right, what United, what decision are you making? Like, are you guys gonna come or are you guys gonna do that? If not, then we'll try and budge this price a little bit up. And also, it's to kind of make it more competitive. So then, if Chelsea do end up coming for him and they lose out on Rafinha, they might end up coming for him. So it's trying to make the price go up as well. But they know what they're doing, innit? They want to make sure they get much money.
You know what they say? Like, I think the price.
Sorry,
go on. No, I was going to say, I think the price might go up even more if we sign Martinez, because Ajax will not want to get rid of Antony as well. If you think they've lost Gravenberch, is Matsraoui going to? Is Matsraoui?
He's already gone.
He's on free transfer. He had no say.
Haller
gone. Martinez might go. I mean, you've lost 4.
It's a myth, though, Charlie. Like they literally the executives have been on the record. No, literally, everybody is for sale. That's literally on the record. Everyone, if the player wants to go, everyone's for sale. Where they've got us, Charlie, is because we were waiting on the Jong thing. This is where it counted against us. They've got money in their pocket now, Charlie. That's the problem. They're like, no, we'll sell you the player because everyone's for sale. But we've just made, even though they lost money on Gravenberch, by the way, so we're paying for that. Because Gravenberch had 1 year left on his contract and Bayern played hardball knowing nobody else was going to get in on that deal, Charlie. Bayern, I think, got him for 22 million euros? If that, with add-ons, which is a joke for Gravenberch. Mazzarari left on a free transfer.
How did we miss out on him, Danny? How do we miss out on him?
He was only going to Bayern. Mazzarari left on a free transfer. Haller might have been a one-season wonder anyway. They've got the equivalent of about 28-30 million for him. So they're looking at it like, all right, we've got a bit of money in our pockets. So, yeah, you want these players, we'll sell them to you, but you've got to pay.
Listen, Danny, so we're saying that we couldn't finesse that?
Listen, I'm so hardcore on this price thing. Right wing, Ahmad, Pilastri. I'm fine. I'm a Man United fan. Young wingers trying to be developed by an elite coach. That's in my DNA. I'm not angry.
No, I get what you're saying. I get.
And you got Elanga as well.
And not even he got Sancho. Sancho can play on the right, people. Sancho can play on the right.
Rashford as well. Rashford is alive.
Let me just add to that before Charlie goes. Bear in mind, and I can say this to Charlie as well, because Charlie will get it. I've seen this man make adjustments because he didn't quite have what he wanted in the front line. When he got to I've seen he's played Tadic at right wing, false 9, 10, and left wing to make adjustments, right? For not having two wide players. For he hasn't had 2 out-and-out wingers for the last 2 seasons, at least to my memory. He hasn't had 2 and out. It's been Tadic on the left, doing a makeshift role, and Antony being disciplined on the right. So if anybody can figure out how a little jigsaw with that front line with the talent that we have, it is Ten Hag, to be honest with you. It's not Mourinho or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's Ten Hag. So
before you go, Charlie. Go on, Charlie. Actually, go on.
No, I get what you're saying, and I totally agree. Ajax have got a history. If you look at Ten Hag, you look at his 18-19 squad, how many players after they sort of got to that Champions League final, how many players left the club. And I do get that. I just think they will not want to lose too many of their massive assets again this summer. I don't think they'll sell Antony and Martinez to us. I might be wrong, but I don't think they will. And I do think
I'm with you. I'm with you
about the versatility and stuff. Like, I think Bruno Fernandes, I'm not saying he will, but I think Bruno Fernandes could play in a role that isn't a number 10 under Ten Hag. I think he could. I don't think he'll play as a false nine. I think he could play on maybe a slightly wider role. At some point, we might see him play there. That's just the thing, because I think Donny van der Beek, I just think he'll be too valuable for Ten Hag. I really, really do. And I don't think you can play Frankie de Jong, Donny van der Beek and Bruno in one midfield. I don't think that's balanced at all. So I think you've got to play Donny somewhere. And I think Bruno Fernandes will end up playing in a wider role.
I bet they end up in the same 11 though, Charlie.
What, you think they will?
Okay.
In the same 11.
Donny
I'm talking
Bruno.
to Charlie. No. So Donny, Bruno, de Jong, same 11. I'm not saying midfield for a reason, Charlie. Same 11. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they could.
That's going to be
Sweden.
People need to remember. Let me just say this to Matt. Sorry, real quickly. Ten Hag does not respect formations. He's got zero respect for formations. He does not care. 4-2, whatever the way Man United fans imagine 4-2-3-1 with Jose and Oli. Don't do that with Ten Hag.
Yeah, definitely with Oli.
When I say Bruno, Donny, and De Jong in the same 11, it's because I know he's not going to have them in the field like that. That's not how he's going to use them. It's going to be completely different. So.
It'd be interesting to see if we see that in the preseason. I don't know. We'll find out, man. I would, you know how Van Gaal went in with the preseason.
Tuesday the 12th in Thailand.
Tuesday the 12th. Yeah, absolutely. United Sweden here says yes. We should play. We should play what we value the player. Sometimes you think this player or none, but the truth is that there are a few players that are generational. I don't know what player you're determining is generational, but listen, I think that's a good point in terms of if you know what kind of value what you're gonna get out of him, does really Ten Hag care about the price in it? Because he's giving him a list, you know what I mean? So he has to fulfill that list, and if you might have to pay a bit more odds over the odds for it, and that could be the one. If there was one signing that would play above over the odds, it would have to be Antony, because you got Lisandro Martinez, who's very, very relatively unknown in terms of fans don't really know about him. Antony,
but I think they're overpaying for him as well, Saeed. I think he's worth about 35 million from Eredivisie. Like he's not a 43 million centre half. Like that could rise to maybe 50 or whatever, or 45.
With add-ons, I'm not mad. Guaranteed fee, I'm not happy. But if the guaranteed money's 35, you can't really be mad at that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
If the guaranteed 40. Forget it.
Can we raise any more money?
Antony.
Can we raise any more money then? Obviously, Liverpool fans love to talk about net spend.
Ask Nuruddin, he understands Glazonomics. Nuruddin, if we get 20 million, how much comes back for transfers, Mr. Glazonomics? Tell me, from 20.
Tell us. Let the people know. 0. So we're selling Pereira for nothing, Bailly for nothing. All these guys, when we do end up selling, it'll be 0, innit? Yeah, it's true, because at the end of the day, like that's why I always say with people, like that's why I'm a bit like very, very in terms of spending money. Like it's almost as if someone says to you, Danny, right, go and spend this 100 million in it, like or go and spend this money. Like you're not gonna worry about giving change back, are you? You're just gonna go and spend it. Like if someone says to you, this is all money you're gonna get right now, and you might not get any more money, you're gonna end up spending all that money, aren't you? So at the end of the day, like I said, with this situation here, people talk about Glazonomics and all that. That's why fans shouldn't really kind of look towards the fee as much. Maybe Barcelona, I get it because they're broke and you have to kind of like look at them accordingly. But in terms of this Antony deal, if we need someone on the right hand side, I'm looking at that CDM option right now. If someone was worth, I'd say 40 to 50 million, I'd go and get him. And if it was for the right person, say now Sangare, Danny, Sangare, how much would you say his value was, Sangare?
35 million for me. 30 million at the most.
He's coming from Eredivisie, man. I'd say 25 mil. Yeah, 25 million. That's how much Tottenham we're getting for. Yeah. I'm saying, listen, Man United tax needs to be over with.
Needs to be over, well, I just want to say this net spend thing. I used to think net spend thing meant something until I looked into it.
Nah, it doesn't mean anything, man.
It don't mean
anything. I don't believe in it anymore as well. Because you shouldn't ever look at players that have been sold anyway, like in that kind of way. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna.
No.
And you don't know when you're gonna get that money as well. And most money now, right now, is in.
But to be fair, net spend don't
Nobody buys
apply to
players.
Glazonomics anyway. Like net spend and Glazonomics don't.
No, it doesn't apply to a football club's accounting. I'll give you an example. This is a fact. So Barcelona, in their accounts, are going to claim that they received the full fee for De Jong, because that's how football accounting works. That's what they do. Kieran Maguire has explained this. That's what they do. Even though in reality they're going to get maybe 15, 20 million up front, in their books they're going to claim we've got the fee for him already. In Man United's books, they're going to spread the cost over the contract. How they do and it's weird. I'm not an accountant, so I can't explain it properly. We've had spaces on it, but that's why net spend is just a load of garbage. Even without all of that complicated stuff, in net spend, did you include the salary and the agent fee? No. Do you know what the loyalty bonus payments are? Because they only get released when it's Paul Pogba. Every player gets one. Do you know what? So how do you know what the net spend actually is if you even want to work with that model? You don't. Yeah. That's why it's a load of nonsense.
Big up Nathan Minas. Looks like you could be getting Martinez. Don't listen. I wouldn't rule out anything, man. This transfer window is going crazy, people. So I wouldn't rule out anything, man. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, just be very, very cautious. Don't get too giddy, as we always say on this channel. You know what I mean? So I would say just hold your horses. You know what I mean? The Myrtle Madness, Ziad, listen, don't worry, man. Even Statman took a night off today. So even he knows that the Myrtle Madness isn't really happening. So listen, people.
Yo, Said, before we go, Said, I just want to show the fans something I was referring to before. Is that okay? Let me share my screen. See if I can I share my screen?
Yeah, share it. Logan, Nuruddin said you're getting Nuruddin, you're getting giddy, man. Logan say you're getting giddy, Nuruddin.
I apologize for the clicks, ladies and gentlemen, but don't be mad at me for the clicks. Please don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
How do I share this?
Go on to Chrome tab and then open it up. By the way, everybody's Twitter and channel names will be in the description, people. So if anyone United Sweden, who is this guy talking now?
Listen, Danny, there's a share button. Yeah, you see it. Yeah.
Is it share? Is it?
Yeah.
There
Can you see it,
bro?
Yeah.
Perfectly, man.
This is better. Ignore the tweet on the right hand side. That should be a 5, not a 6. I got dyslexic, man. I got confused in it because, very, very simple. Yeah, if I said to you, on paper it's 4-2-3-1, and I told you, guess who the number 1 is, the number 2. So guess who number 2 is, number 3 is, number 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So who would you guess in the Man United team? Who would you think number 2 is? Any one of you?
I would think that would be Lindelof.
No, that's going forward, isn't it? Yeah.
So number 2.
That's Fred.
Who's number 2?
Fred. Lindelof.
Well, Nerdin watches Ajax, so he knows. So it would be Lindelof. That's Timber. All right. Who do you think number 1 would be?
That would be Maguire.
Number 1's actually the DM. Who do you think the number 3 would be? Yeah, exactly. Who do you think the number 3 would be?
Also,
probably the right back.
What you trying to say? Yeah, the right back, innit?
Or it depends whether if one's the right back. It depends.
What the fuck is this?
It could be the right.
So
back
the numbers we're guessing. Let me just say it. The numbers we have to guess in the comments. Get involved as well. Guess who number 2 is, number 3 is, number 4, 5, 6, and 7. All the number 1s. Ignore the number 1s. Ignore them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Guess in the comments now. We'll go through this one by one. So number 3. Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, people. Number 3.
Wow, yeah.
Number 3, people.
No, number 3 is Berghaus. Berghaus the number 10.
What?
Yeah, exactly. All right, hold on. So imagine Man United 4-2. I'm going to give number 4 away, just because I just have to. So on paper, right, they play a 4-2-3-1. On the left central midfield position is
it's
who?
4-4-3, really. It's 4-3-3.
Number 4 is Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Gravenberch. And bear in mind, the balls with the number 2 has gone to number 1. It's going to be switched to Antony, who's here. But Gravenberch is already there waiting. That's what I'm trying to explain to people about. Ten Hag is a madman. He doesn't respect formations. When he completely trusts his team, he will do all types of things like, so the number 7, for example, guess who the number 7 is, saying?
Number 7, I'm going to guess it's going to be Tadic.
No. Number 7 is Gravenberch.
Number 3 is Gravenberch. Number 4 is Gravenberch. And Berry,
the number 7 is Mazraoui, the right back.
There we go.
No way. No way.
I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear. Can you see my screen completely?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Number 7.
Yeah,
Can you see my files?
It's clear.
Yeah.
But Danny, listen, Danny. What all this translates to is that at the Stretford, when Man United are losing a game at home, we don't have to say Man United fans don't have to shout attack. They're gonna see some madness they've never seen before.
Yeah.
You're never gonna hear attack.
That's a perfect way to sum it up, man. That's a perfect way to wrap up the show, man. Danny, even look how confused I got. Yeah, Danny kicked himself out. He was like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry." I was confused.
Bring him back. There we go. It's coming back.
Yeah, man.
By the way, Danny, is that just one? Is that have you taken that from one game?
Yeah.
Or did you take that from? Yeah. Okay,
and that's the end of a shift. The way it starts, they're in 4-2-3-1, and then it develops into that. And I'm just watching the game, like I'm watching this live, and I'm just like, what's wrong with this man? What's he doing?
Bro, it's crazy. Listen, man, Leslie's not going to be happy with you because Leslie wants people in their shape. So Leslie's not going to be happy. She's like, get over back, get over here.
Yo, imagine
Ricky. What about Rick the Red? Ricky.
Ricky. Oh my
imagine
God.
Imagine Wan-Bissaka like next to Ronaldo, for example, in that situation, if he was forced to. Like, a squeaky bum.
Absolutely. Going to end the Guardiola Klopp era. Listen, let's hope, man. Because what did he say? Charlie? His words were about Pep Guardiola and
everything has to come to an end, didn't he? I think
everything has to come to an end, man. So watch out. Ten Hag's coming for you lot, mate. You know what I mean? Watch out. Listen, people.
I think, Saeed, you have to preface that. Don't get clipped up, right? We have to preface that by saying
entertainment purposes only.
We have to walk. I found the perfect. Somebody clipped you up nicely, you know, and I found it. I shared it. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but I shared it. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. You know what? And I told the Twitter followers, you should have seen what I was doing when that fourth goal went in. You know what I mean? Leicester United 4-2, but it is what it is. The biggest thing is I want to preface that by saying Man United team as a team needs to crawl before we can sprint. But that's the end game. The end game of Ten Hag is total football, bro. It's total football. It's like people covering for each other, positions that they're not used to. And that's what it is. And like I said to you before, Saeed, the idea of United fans singing attack, those days are over. Because
I hope so.
It might even have David De Gea, mate, at the edge of the area.
You know what?
No.
Let's have it, man. Let's have it, people. Listen, still nearly 800 of you here, man. 20 more likes apparently until 400 likes. Let's hopefully you can do that, guys. This is top quality content. We had the thread from Charlie. Make sure you follow him as well on YouTube and on Twitter as well. Threadman Chazza. Then we had Danny sending me kind of crazy with the numbers. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to have PTSD tonight. Then we had Nuruddin as well with, obviously, again, facts upon facts with Nuruddin. You know what I mean? He's making sure that people aren't getting too giddy. So make sure, people, to follow everybody. I'll be back on Sunday with the show with Andy Tate and Flawless and James. So make sure you help us on that one. And yeah, man, make sure you follow everybody, man. You know what? Go around and just let the people know where they can find you.
Can we just give a shout out to my hairline real quickly?
Oh,
yeah, man. Listen,
you're looking smart, man. You're looking smart, man.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
Listen,
you can find me on Twitter. Find me on Twitter. Spaces, arguing Nuruddin. People think they must think me and Nuruddin don't get along. the way we go at it in Spaces.
Spaces,
yeah,
man,
you can find me on Twitter there, engaging in Spaces. Basically, educating Nuruddin on Glazonomics every day. That's basically what I do.
So listen, man. Shout out to Danny's barber first of all. Shout out to Danny's barber. Shaped him up nicely, man. Yeah, shaped him up nicely. If you know about the culture, you know about the barber, innit? The relationships with the barber, and how you can't cheat on your barber. You know what I mean? If your barber ever caught you cheating, it's bad news. Trust me, it's bad news. You can't have a side barber.
But I tell you, my barber caught me cheating. And then I've gone back to him now. He gave me this trim. So he's a good guy because he could have paid me back.
Top guy.
He could have paid me back. He could have paid me back. So
well, that's an admission. But big up, man. Big up to Charlie. I've really enjoyed. Big up, Danny. Always love, respect. Big up, Saeed. Listen, smash a like on the video, man. My barber, Yo, my barber, yo, everybody knows who he is.
Nah, man.
Yo, my barber, listen, you see that face there? You don't see that nice face?
I see it, man. Don't worry about that, man.
The hairline left me a long time ago. He went like with Man United's form, man. You know what? My hairline was keeping in touch with Man United. Man United form as a football club. As soon as Man United deserted me, the hairline went with Man United form. That's a fact. I keep it real. I'm keeping it 100%. Why do you think I'm on the Glazers, man? They destroyed my hairline, man. They destroyed me.
Mate, I'm crying, man.
Yeah. Well, big up, man. Seriously, you guys are disrespecting. You guys need to get the likes up more, man. It costs you absolutely nothing. But yeah, you can find me, United Real Therapy, and I'm Mr. Structure, always, and in the spaces, chopping out with Danny and the other brothers, man. And definitely, I want to collaborate with Charlie as well. Get Danny on United Real Therapy, man. So definitely, so big up. And big up to Saeed as well, Saeed TV, man. So love and light, people. Peace. I'm gonna go and check out some Ethiopian music now. I'm off to Saeed's, actually where Saeed used to work. I'm off to Banana Wall to go and get some African music. So that's me for the evening, innit? Even though the weather's
absolutely, man.
When the weather's horrendous in Manchester, it's either cinema or gigs.
Banner Wall, yeah. And they've renovated as well, you know. They've renovated Banner Wall, so
yeah.
Good. I was there last week. So yeah.
I'm gonna
Charlie,
go. Peace.
Let them know where they can find you, man.
Yeah. Threadman Chazza on Twitter and on YouTube. Thanks a lot, everyone. This has been one of my favorite shows, man, of all time on here. It's been good. It's been good.
Absolutely.
Lots of positivity. Hijack.
No, positivity, man. I'm not a negative fan, man, but I've got PTSD about last season. That's all. When people find me negative, yeah, it's just because I've got PTSD about last season. It was bad, man, and I just don't want that manager to go through that same pain that Ralph went to, man. I'm sorry, man. That's all it is, people. I want him to be equipped for the season because I've been on the big six. I've got a rep the club on the big six. I've got to talk about every day. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just have positive talks about the football club. But listen, people, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's starting to get a bit more positive, but again, just don't get too giddy. Love, we're out, people. Take care.